food left. All right, so we are coming to probably the best part of the weekend, and to get to see all the projects. Big applause for everyone for working so hard. Thank you. As usual, it's always exciting to see all the work that we've put towards the end and see the results here. So once this meeting is being recorded, okay, I got it. Do I have to stand like here?
Yes.
Okay, I will stand at the podium and not move. Great, so just I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for all the time and your hours that you give in to support all the nonprofits. Again, thank you so much, World Simple. Wasn't it just a great office to work from all this weekend? It was so good. Thank you. Like, just a great space and so welcoming. And it's really exciting. Did you see the donut? Did you like the donuts? Aren't they so cute? Love it. I hope you took pictures. So what we're gonna do, I want to do just quick thank yous to all our partners, since they help feed us for free all weekend and get this weekend going. So again, thank you so much, World Simple, for hosting us and sponsoring this event. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to also thank Google Chrome for supporting the event, Jobber, FullScript, Wrangle.io, Twitter, Hello, Fierte at Work, or Pride at Work Canada, and Osedia. Give them a big applause. Say thank you. I also want to thank our annual partners, because without them, the organization wouldn't be able to function. Thank you to RBC, World Simple, Google Chrome, Touch Tunes, Moment Factory, Sun Life, Oral Health, and Osedia. Give them another big applause. Thank you. So, also, there is tons of community partners that help QueerTech all the time spread the word, and helped us a lot get the word out for PrideHacks. And I want you to also give them a big applause, because they are great at disseminating our information, getting a lot of people to participate at this event. Thank you. I love it. I feel like we're in one of those politician rallies where you just applaud all the time. Okay, stop applauding. Oh, Andy always asked me to tell everyone. So we're trying to get 50 subscribers to our YouTube channel. I know it's little. So then we can customize the link to QueerTech. Can you subscribe to our channel? You will also get all the videos that we make and the interviews and stuff, which is really great content. So if you want to go on your YouTube and subscribe, that would be lovely and will make Andy very happy. Great. So I'm going to pass it on quickly. At the end of all these presentations, we got a little bubbly to celebrate. We'll all go to the rooftop, have a little drink, and just kind of close the weekend and for this. So I'll see you in a bit. And again, big applause for everyone getting all the projects done.
Thank you,
Andy.
Thank you. I'm entering backstage, like there's an entrance here. So just a few quick housekeeping things. First of all, if you're going to be a project lead or you're going to come up and present, again, we are recording this on Zoom, so we ask that you be at the podium, and we have your slides, so we'll advance them for you, and just be in this little bitty area right here. We can give you a couple of mics so that you can share. So first, I want to say thank you to everybody who helped virtually for this hackathon. Big round of applause for everybody who wasn't physically here, but gave their time and energy online, to all of the nonprofit contacts that came and supported the teams with their needs, and communicated what their needs were to these teams to build something great. I'm really excited for us to show off the presentations, and just really excited about everything that happened here. It was such an amazing event. I'm so glad to be a part of it. Thank you all for volunteering your time, for giving back to the community, for celebrating Pride in such a special, special way. So round of applause for yourself, because it was awesome. It was really, really awesome. There is a slide. The next slide is PrideHacks Montreal. So I have to mention that we are doing this all again on July 28th through the 30th. So if you happen to find yourself in Montreal that weekend and have nothing to do, we would love to have you back. And we're probably targeting another 6 to 8 projects to work on. And maybe we can, if we didn't quite finish this one, we can carry those over. So there's a great opportunity to give back even more. And if you aren't able to make it, please share it with your friends in Montreal. Let them know that we are doing this event for the community again, and it's going to be great. We have a fantastic host with Moment Factory, and the venue is always fantastic. So we look forward to a fantastic event in Montreal. And then we also want you to mark your calendars because Queer Tech is coming back in a big way in Toronto in the fall, November. We are holding our very first conference. So it's a 2-day conference. It's called QD Conference with a Q. And we are inviting all of our community to come and be a part of it. We are working on 3 tracks of programming, one for access to tech. So if you know people who are looking for their first job in tech or looking to transition into tech, fantastic content there. We're going to have a track that is focused on leadership and building more leaders in tech. So if you're in tech, you're advancing in your career, you want to get some leadership skills, we're going to have some content for you. And then the 3rd track is all about entrepreneurship. So if you've always wanted to learn about building your own business, we'll make sure that you have some content as well. And it's all going to be a big experiment for us, but I'm really looking forward to bringing it to Toronto. Yeah, it's going to be a great experience. It's been fun this far. It's going to continue to be amazing. So look forward that, mark your calendars, November 10th and 11th of this fall. And then in the meantime, we also want you to stay connected with Queer Tech because we are planning monthly meetups in Toronto starting in September. There's going to be lots of opportunities to volunteer, lots of opportunities to come and participate, network, mingle, bring your friends, share the experience, and just, yeah, support us however you can when we will do the best to support you how you need it. We thank you for making it such an amazing, inclusive community, an amazing experience for everyone. We hope that everybody enjoyed their experience. And yeah, we hope to see you at the next event. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lucas to act as the MC for the remainder of the event. He will be introducing a big round of applause for Lucas for making this all happen. All right. Take it away, Lucas.
Hi, everyone. How are we feeling?
Super.
Who's tired? Well worth it, right? Well worth it. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm in frame so everyone at home can see. Wow. If you had asked me 2 months ago, what are you doing in the middle of June? I probably would have told you nothing. I live in Pickering. That's what we do in Pickering. Nothing. When I was approached about this position, I was so excited. I think I said the other day, I accepted the job before Andy finished offering it to me. And I can get a little misty-eyed. You all here are why I was so excited, and you did not disappoint. This has been incredible. And I get to do it all again. If you can, we would love to have you contribute in Montreal. If you can come, that would be beautiful. If you want to contribute on Discord, see how it works from the other angle, that would be amazing. But I think through this weekend, you have all heard me speak enough. So I want to turn it over to my project leads. Let's have a big round of applause for my project leads first, please, actually.
Woo!
Thank you so much. You worked so hard. Who's on first?
Actually, before we get to that, we want to do a check-in with everybody here. Oh, so okay, maybe. Let's see. How was your day? How was your day, everybody? Did everybody have a good day? All right. Does anybody want to come up and say why they felt this was a special event or what made it special or how your day was?
I've conscripted volunteers before, team. I could do it again.
I have to say, Toronto is super shy because Montreal, they're like, let me get the mic.
I'm asking for you guys to come up on the podium. can't hear anyone. Oh, Sharon.
We've got to pull the mic in pretty close. Okay. Hi. So I started to learn how to code during the pandemic. And even though I've been coding with some people, doing some pair programming, it kind of feels like coding in a vacuum. You know, like you're not really meeting face to face with anybody. Everybody knows like video is just not the same. Video is not the same as being in person. And this is the first time that I have coded with people. And as an extrovert, I've been missing people during the pandemic. And there's something really nice about being able to do something like this with people in a collaborative way that it's not quite the same virtually. And being able to not just work on, you know, something for my portfolio or something that's going to get me hired, hopefully, but something that like really matters and has ripple effects across a community that I really want to do well and succeed and be uplifted. So that's good.
Great.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you. Does anyone else want to tell us how they feel about today, how their day was, why it was important to them to be here? Yes. Yes. Well, you heard from me already. Well, you all think about it. I will tell you why it was important for me. Some of you know, I actually started looking for a job in our community over 8 years ago. I decided that was the career path I wanted to take. I committed hard and I even quit my job. And when that didn't pan out immediately, I did get a little disappointed. I was a little frustrated. I thought it shouldn't be this difficult. Turns out we have a lot of really talented, really amazing people in this community. And
No shit.
for me to, you know, like I mentioned, I started this job only a few weeks ago. I can't fathom how I got so lucky, because this community is full of so many amazing, wonderful, brilliant people. And in this room, I get to work with so many of them. It's just been incredible. So what I want to say is thank you, all of you.
Beautiful. Ditto.
All right, last chance. One more. Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Hello, everyone. I am so glad to be here. As I think when Lucas introduced, came from Vancouver, and one of the things that really drove me to be here was when I started exploring my own identity, I felt like I was very alone and I was the only one. And I feel like that's for a lot of queer folks, where we feel like we're alone in this. And especially when you're in tech, there's a very lack of role models. When you look at management positions, when you look at industries, and it can be very overwhelming. I remember being in engineering and deciding not to be going in the path that I really wanted to go, just because I thought that I didn't belong. But here I am. I got connected with queer tech, as the name suggests, like queering the industry. And I think it just made me feel like I have a community and I belong somewhere. And I'm really excited to be a part of it, to be here, standing with everyone, having these 1.5 days, doing something for other folks who might be in the same position as me, but now have a platform where they actually feel like they're being heard and they belong. So that's why this work is really meaningful to me. And again, as everybody's echoed this before, I'm so glad to be here. So thank you so much. And I can't wait to see how our projects pan out. So yeah.
Woo! How exciting.
We're showing everybody at home who's in the room. So wave, everybody wave to everybody on Zoom.
Hello.
Yeah, it's been great to see this. Oh, amazing.
Oh no.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So my name's Colin. I'm from Sheridan, an interaction design student. My team's over there. They're amazing. I would just say, for me, I don't have anything like super long to say. I would just say, you know, I've done hackathons before, like through the pandemic. A lot of them were online and virtual, and like even just going through 2 years of being online and like being isolated from like a lot of friends. It's been really difficult. And so I would just say it's been really nice to be here and like to make new friends and like meet people from the community and just like know that it's real. It's not like a fake thing, you know? You're like, is the world real anymore? I don't know. But it is, and it's just been like really touching to be able to like work on impactful projects for the community and make new friends that like will be able to stay connected for, you know, ever. And so it'll be, yeah, it was just really wonderful to be here, and I'm so glad that Queer Tech organized this event. Yeah, thank you.
Sweet.
We're trying to make everybody cry. Okay. Any last words before we move to the presentations? Nope. Okay. Now Fel could listen to these all day. So all right. I think community is first.
Community is first. Come on down. You can. What do you need? You need those microphones? Your notes on the laptop. All right. For the folks at home, we have a bit of a precarious tech situation here. We're just trying to make sure that everything works for everybody. So thank you. Bear with us for just a minute. Just look at the camera. Mm-hmm. So I'll take this mic over so that they can talk to you. You guys are here. Is it showing on the screen? Yeah. Wow. That's cool. Hey. You have 30 seconds. Oh my God. Yeah. Everybody, on Zoom, the screens are facing this way, so if you want to see there are some pieces right here.
Okay. Hey, everyone. We're working on something called QApp or QMUNITY, which is a nonprofit queer resource center in the Vancouver area. So yeah, our project description was basically to like design and try to implement an app within the time. And they wanted basically like the ability to list all of their programming and for a user to come in and outline like their some information about their identity or some programming that they might be looking for another, and then get information about that and find like links to the website. Since found it was a little bit challenging to connect people to programming on there, and they wanted more options for mobile. And yeah, then yeah, here's our team, and I'm gonna hand it over, I believe, to the people who were primarily working on the UX and UI side, because we we split it up kind of into two sub teams. So a lot of people on our team ended up having really awesome skills in UX and UI. So they were primarily working on like layouts and wireframes and like making really lovely designs on Figma. And then myself and two other people on my team were involved with trying to find a way that we could implement the app as quickly as possible. And we'll get into more detail on that in a second. Yeah, so I'll hand it over to the UX and UI team.
So UI UX was mainly it was mainly compassion based, so we use inclusive language and visuals to make it easier. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Yes. My name is Ipun Kandola. I've moved here about 2 years ago from England. York student currently. It's cool in design. So yeah, our UI was mainly compassion-based, inclusive language and visuals. We integrated out based on the community style guide. So we looked at the website and we were like, okay, use a lot of pink. So we're going to use a lot of app now. And we made it look really cool. And we're also going to add a survey at the end that allows community to track users' suggestions to update the app experience. So we're going to look at ways to make it more accessible to more people out there and other bits, you know, just really improve the app in the end.
Hey, by the way, my name's Chris. My pronouns are they, them. I'm going into my final year at UEC Computer Science. I'm currently doing an internship here. But yeah. And so for the hardware side, we talked a little bit yesterday and we decided, okay, we only really have 3 people and we want to get something that looks similar to an app. And we also have to hand this off to a company that has very few, like, there's only one person really with, I hesitate to say even tech background that kind of just does their like website stuff. So we were thinking like, how can we build something that non-engineers can modify in the future and potentially update the programming for? So what we settled on was we found this website called Glide, and it allowed you for basically a no-code solution to like customize the UI and include some logic for, okay, you know, if you identify as queer and trans, then here are the programs that are offered to you if you want to attend virtual or in-person events, and whether you want to, like what kind of age group you might be in, since Community has a lot of different programming that they offer. So I actually have like the app up, so I'm going to provide a little bit of a demo. So over here, oh no, wait, sorry. So this is what it kind of looks like. So this is the Glide app. So what you can do is, sorry, are you seeing it? Okay, great. So what you can do is like basically it stores all the information in different spreadsheets. So you start from spreadsheets and then you link that to the logic in the app. So we have like events. So these are all the different programs offered by Community, the different target identity groups, the age groups, and whether it's in person or virtual, and an event link as well. So then over in the app, you can set in your profile like the different groups that you identify within, and then your age group as well. And then if you close that out and then go to events, then you'll see all the events listed here. And then if you click on one of these, it'll bring you to the specific website and give you a lot more information. So the idea here was to connect people quickly to information on the website. And so a subscription to this app costs $25 a month for usually $250 business plan because there's a discount for nonprofits. And then to ship it to the App Store for the Google App Store and the Apple App Store costs $300. And so, yeah, this page kind of just provides like, okay, a link to donate and a link to contact Community. And so while the UX and UI team like laid out a bunch of amazing stuff on Figma, I'll just show that a little bit as well, since they did really, really incredible work that I wish we would have had time to implement more. But yeah, basically like they had all these different questionnaires designed, and we thought a lot about like, okay, what kind of language do we want to use? What kind of information is important for people to have? And they also did all sorts of like graphics like this, which I thought were really amazing. Yeah, sure. Do you guys want to talk more about it?
Okay, so this is our onboarding screen. So it will welcome them in, give them a little brief description and like other details about what the app is for. And they will begin and instantly get thrown into the questionnaire, so they could choose if they're doing it for themselves or they're doing it for someone else. So if they're like an ally, a friend, parent, guardian. In this case, we're doing it for myself. And oh, sorry. And then it would you choose like what you identify as, In this case, you can select as many as you want. So if you're an ally and you're doing it for like 2 different people and they're like asexual and another person is lesbian, you can do that. In this case, we're just going to choose one. We're going to choose lesbian. And then you would choose an age group. And in this case, we're going to choose junior. And it would instantly give you some events that fit under those preferences that you've selected. And you could save them as bookmarks, or you could instantly just kind of click in and see different details, add it to your calendar, go to the link, Eventbrite, and subscribe for email reminders. And we also have a homepage, which would be after you open up the app again, and you could take the quiz again and change your preferences and whatnot, or you could donate, volunteer, contact them, or we've also included a link to other resources. And yeah, that is the app.
Oh, thank you so much. So again, going over the MVPs that we plan to deliver over the course of 1.5 days was that to make sure that the app was easy to use and very easy to update, because community doesn't have a lot of engineers on their team. So as some of the folks here told us, it's primarily based on Excel. So if you update the Excel, it's going to update the app, and that's pretty much automated. It's intersectional and accessible, so people can select multiple options to make sure that all their identities are being met. They can also add them to their calendar, get more notifications every time community updates more events, and also bookmark them. So it works as a reminder for them as well. Another thing is that the app is easy to integrate with iOS and Android, and it's within the budget of community. So we wanted to make sure that's actually going to be applicable. So I think we pretty much met all the brief. Moving on to the future, again, future works. We want to make sure that we hand over all the documentation to community so they can actually make the app happen. Right now, it's a web application. So in the course of 1.5 days, we couldn't actually formulate a whole app. But given what we've done, I think that's going to be pretty easy. And we've laid down all the steps for that. Again, it's also within the budget, as Chris highlighted, and the app also has a survey function in which community can know from the users what programming they should include for future events. So it's even more catered to them. So yeah, that's our presentation. And I want to thank everybody in the team. We had a big team and it was a little chaotic to start, but we definitely made it work, more than work, and we finished on time and we made great connections. So I'm so glad that we got to work with each other. So yeah, thank you so much.
Bravo.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was great. Fantastic. Thank you, Sam. I'm filling in. I think the next presentation is FrancoQueer. So can I get the FrancoQueer team up? Oh. Should we go to the next?
Oh, they're not coming?
Are you ready? Okay.
Jean-Rac. Ah, il est pas là?
Do we want to go to, do we want to come back or? Yeah, okay. We're sorting out some technical difficulties, so we're gonna move on to Max Ottawa, and then we'll come back to FrancoQueer. So Max Ottawa, come on up.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Oh,
Again, please remember to introduce yourself quickly.
Test.
Microphone, so. Second.
Cool. Is there a laptop, or I guess we can use our?
I'll stand up front.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab my. Don't you need a laptop to see what we're saying? Sorry, guys.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kim and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm the collaborative team lead of Max Ottawa. Before we get started, maybe just everyone on our team can just say a quick hi in their name. If you don't have a mic, maybe just volume.
And I'm Chad. I go to Queen's University. I'm going to my 4th year. My pronouns are he, him, they, them.
My name is Revati.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Philip from the UK.
My name is Ahmed. Use they, them pronouns. Hey.
And our clients.
Hey.
Awesome. So just to begin, I'm going to give like a quick intro of Max Ottawa. So they do a lot of programming in the Ottawa community for things all queer related, especially educating health professionals, not only, but also community members as well. And they've been around for over 20 years. So a lot of progress, a lot of data there, right? And so as of right now, if we go to the next slide, taking a look at Max Ottawa's needs. So they don't really, can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So essentially right now, they don't have a lot of data systems in place. So they get a lot of data, as you can imagine, serving the entire Ottawa community. So some of their core funders right now are PHAC, so the Public Health Agency of Canada, as well as the Ministry of Health, so MOH. And so essentially what these funders require is reporting. So they require specific metrics that they want. For example, they want to know like the percentage of service users who felt an improvement in a particular area, for example, their knowledge or ability to mitigate risks. And so some of the constraints that we were faced with were costs. So we tried to make this as free as possible, which we did, and also capacity, right? Given the amount of human capital that we had, and also the fact that we're dealing with a lot of sensitive data. So we actually use mock data in order to kind of test and create our project. Next slide, please. So taking a look at the project scope, so we wanted to make sure we were all aligned on the same thing. So essentially, we're streamlining and consolidating Max Ottawa's data collection process and systems so that they can form reports and do that effectively for their funders. Next slide.
Yeah, and something I'll add as someone who doesn't come from a data background, something that, I discovered even throughout this process is data is super important in order to communicate to funders, which will help, get the money to essentially operate these organizations. So that's something that came really exciting out of this project. So what you can see up here is essentially like our problem user journey for someone on the Max Ottawa team. So what are the steps that they would go through in order to collect this data, process it, and ultimately analyze it? I won't go through each step, but essentially each step is a problem, I guess you could say. And so our team tackled each step to hopefully streamline it and make it easier. Just the next slide, please.
We can't see the slide.
Great. And so again, just from that user problem journey, we categorized into our 3-step kind of process. So data collection, how are we getting the data from the service users, data processing, how are we going to organize the raw data, and then ultimately analysis. So how are we getting the final data points that the funders need and making it easy and accessible for the Max Ottawa team to collect. Next slide, please.
So we came up with the idea of creating 2 surveys. And the first survey is for before attending the event or the session. The clients answer demographic survey, and then a survey related to PHAC, as well as program specific questions. And then after the event, they also answer some questions related to PHAC, as well as core evaluation questions. And this was done through Google Forms. And then from Google Forms, we put it into Google Sheets.
We can't see the slides.
And basically, making all the surveys coming from, like the data from the surveys coming from a single source, made it easier to deal with the data, because it's like we know how the data is coming, as opposed to having data coming from a number of different sources with different formats. Okay. Oh, okay. No worries. And then like having the data on like the structured data on Google Sheets made it way easier. So we could just for the time being account for human error, because you can have like values that are filled in incorrectly or not even filled. Next slide, please. And after dealing with this, it's a matter of doing like a feature engineering, which is basically transforming some of the data, which is qualitative into quantitative. So that way, Microsoft can generate their reports.
I just want to bring this back into context. So Ahmed here, what they were doing was collecting all of this data. A lot of it was manually done. Like people were just filling in paper forms, and then they would just have to fill it into an Excel sheet. So what we've done here from collection all the way to report into that tiny number there, 40%, represents about 10 days of work, possibly. And now we've shortened it to about 1 or 2 hours, let's say.
We can't see the slides.
And so that will go into a report for Public Health Canada, or whichever funders Max Ottawa have, and will save you so much time.
Yes, it will.
And who's next?
Yep. Next slide.
Next slide.
So kind of where we ended off, hopefully it's the next steps slide coming up, but we have created a transitional manual. So a Google Doc kind of listing our steps, you know, if we were a Max Ottawa teammate or a team member, and the process of collecting the data, processing it, and then ultimately analyzing it. So we're hoping to provide that to Max Ottawa as a transition, and also a Loom video, so we can make the onboarding and adoption of this solution a lot easier for the team. Also as well, Max Ottawa will be now testing this process with the example that we've done. So hopefully then working with them and gathering feedback, and then hopefully tweaking the template so they can scale it across multiple different funders and contexts. So that's kind of our next steps. And just to end it off too, you know, the team was incredible. Similar to Sam, we had a bit of a rocky start. Thank you to, you know, the remote folks, you know, Anna and Jess, who contributed as well, and our entire team for taking the time, and the organizers. Like, we're really, really appreciative. And obviously Ahmed too from Max Ottawa. Like, he did so much context filling in for us at the beginning, at least 3 times. So
to be honest, I think this team is seriously amazing, because what I came in with was so chaotic. And because that is sort of what I was dealing with, is just a lot of chaos in terms of data being shared by my team across, not this team, my actual Max team, across different platforms. Some people using SurveyMonkey, some people using their own spreadsheets, some people just like writing it down in narrative form, some people just sending me an email. And to try to gather data in that way and just try to make sense of it all and make sense of what I was trying to achieve to this team here, the way they were able to hear what I was saying and create this, effing believable. Like, honestly, thank you.
Great way to end it off. And thank you again, everyone and our team. Great job. And thanks for listening. Yeah.
Awesome. I have to say, you know, now Fel and I are a 2-person team at QueerTech, with the amazing support of volunteers and some contractors like Diego and Lucas from time to time. So these problems are real. Like, every nonprofit in the world that exists is dealing with these exact problems. And we're trying to do it on the cheap so that we can provide more services to the community. And so I just have to echo all of that feeling and say, thank you. Thank you for everything that you did today, because it's super important work. So we appreciate it. Awesome. We're gonna go back to FrancoQueer. I think we're ready. I think we got all the technical difficulties, you know, and thank you for bearing with us, the people who are watching on Zoom. It's a little bit complicated that we're working with like 3 different systems trying to make this all happen. So
Hi, everyone. So my name is Arnaud. My pronouns are he, him. I'm going to talk a little bit about the issue that we were working on to solve. So some of the issue was related to project management. We're currently using a project that is not helping us and that is getting in the way of actually getting the work moving. So we were trying to find a way to make that better. We were also currently, so we have a volunteer program and we needed a system that integrates with the other systems and that integrates with also our communication systems. We have currently different databases where we hold, where we store information about members, about clients, newsletter subscribers. So we needed to find a way to bring them together and connect those different systems to make work more efficient. And I think that covers it.
So we were really looking for a solution to organize all of this information, organize all of these projects that FrancoQueer works on, because FrancoQueer works on projects directly through their organization, but also with partner organizations who do workshops, conferences, discussion groups, quite a lot. And so there was a needed a project management tool and organization of that project management tool to be able to actually optimize their workflow so that they weren't holed up in figuring out what actually needed to be done. So what we were able to accomplish in the last 2 days was we migrated a bunch of information from Airtable. And so that was part manual work and part automated work. And so we were able to set up multiple project templates within monday.com and figure out the best optimized way to put those projects on so that at least a template so that they could be filled manually. And if we're able to get to it after hackathon, automate it to go into it. But we did run into a couple of problems with automation and the automation tool that we were going to use. So within Monday, we were able to set up contact information and contact board. So right now they have contacts through Airtable, through Gmail, through Yapla, different programs. So we created a system within Monday for them to have all of their contacts listed, all of their organizations, all the information needed for a contact, whether a volunteer, member, or a donor. And so we also created a volunteer application form through Monday. And so we're hoping that we can manage the volunteers through monday.com as well. And so, yeah, we got quite a bit done. We got like the base layer done, which is quite a lot of mental thinking to figure out how the project can be structured compared to what actually needs to be done, and combining that with data that we already have, especially when we're thinking of reporting. So a lot of the project management tools that we had, we need to think about how we could extract that data for reporting, because right now it was put across multiple platforms again, and we want to amalgamate that all into one platform and make it easy. We can create dashboards through Monday, and we can create reports that we can easily send to funders. So unfortunately, Yapla, one of the programs that we were going to use, lied to us. And so they told us—
Don't use it. Don't use it.
They told us that we could use Zapier to integrate contacts directly into Monday, so we wouldn't need to do a bunch of manual work. Turns out we can't. So now our next step is to figure out if we are going to stay with Yapla at all, or if we are going to change over, and how much manual work we really want to do. And so because of the different databases and because of the different ways that they store their information, a lot of the information wasn't able to cleanly move over to Monday from like Airtable, from MailChimp. So we did end up needing to do a lot more manual work than we anticipated, which took quite a while. And because of all the huge projects, all the huge contacts that FrancoQueer has, it is not a one-person job. I will say that. And so, yeah, so now going forward, we're going to switch over the newsletter portion from Yapla to Monday and to MailChimp. And we're going to try to create more automations and integrations with Monday and Google Workspace and MailChimp. So once we have that data, we're going to create those automations and the integrations to make things even easier for FrancoQueer. Oh, and did want to say thank you to our team as well. So our team is really, really small, especially compared to some of the other teams, but myself, Dennis, and Arnaud were here the whole time, with a couple other people coming in and out as well. So thank you to everyone who helped.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a challenge, and definitely I've encountered those data management issues a lot, where a product says that it can connect, and then it's like, okay, but I have to build a custom solution to make that happen, and who has time or money for that, right? So awesome, great job, and I hope that we helped iron out some of that process for you, and look forward to see what else happens. Great. We're going to move right along to our next presentation. Before, while the GMSH team comes up in the symbols, I also wanted to shout out quickly to Guy. Come on up, come start coming up. But a special thank you to Guy, who's not only a board member for QueerTech, but was here over the 3 days helping us run the event. So round of applause for Guy. And then also Diego, who has started off as a volunteer and has been helping us with social media and the events. So big round of applause for Diego as well. And with that, I'll turn it over to Trista.
Thank you. So I'm here with Brandon. But yeah, my name is Trista and my pronouns are she and her. I'll give you this microphone and I'll take this one.
Hi, Gay.
So our project was to build an e-commerce solution for the Gay Men's Sexual Health Alliance. So they're an agency that focuses on sexual health for men who love men within Ontario. And so they help other agencies as well. In addition to running their own initiatives, they help them promote their own campaigns. So that's what this swag store is all about, to help them get swag for their campaigns. I can't see what slide we're on. Maybe I should have brought my phone up here. I might do that real quick. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, which slide are we on? Okay, so the deliverables that, can you hear me? Cool. Okay. The deliverables that we wanted to do is make sure that users can access the storefront and be able to add stuff to their cart, see all the merchandise, and well, it's not really merchandise because it's all free for the agencies. But they want to have product maximums as well to make sure that agencies are not ordering like 500 t-shirts for their campaigns. And they also wanted to limit the shipping to Ontario. And the GMSH administrators should be able to review the orders as well. Next slide, please. So here's an example of the merchandise that we have available. And maybe Brandon, do you want to talk some more about that?
So there are about 10 products that they have. This includes 6 different shirts, 3 different colors of shirts. Sorry, 2 different colors. But as you can see here, there's 2 shirts that are the same, but all of the other ones are not. So it kind of, in terms of when you go to the page, you can't just have, let's pick one specific design and just change the color. It doesn't work that way since you have different designs. But we do have 2 different colors for lip balm. We also have a lighter, sugar-free gum, and plastic cards. As Trisha mentioned, this particular organization doesn't just go into sex, health in sex, but also helps to provide a space where people can, if they want to, do drugs, do it safely.
Next slide, please. So our strategy was to integrate with their existing site, which is on WordPress, which mainly uses PHP. We also didn't want to reinvent the wheel here. There are various forms and other plugins that are available, but since this feels very much like an e-commerce solution, that's why we decided to go with WooCommerce, which is the most commonly used e-commerce plugin for WordPress. So there was a lot of configuration that we could tweak, but at the same time, there was some code manipulation needed. So to get the desired behavior, we would update that as needed. Next slide, please. So we did get very far. So we were able to limit the maximum quantity. We were able to limit the shipping region to Ontario, Canada. And remove things that would be present in a traditional e-commerce store, like reviews, prices, suggested products, and coupons. And we got a lot of information and assets added for the products themselves. And we were also able to validate the checkout flow from both the user and the admin perspective. Next slide, please. And so maybe Brandon, do you want to talk about these snapshots we took?
Yes. So as you can see here, we had to manually put all of the information of the products into the website. Obviously, we're using the existing website, so the existing framework. We just added an extension, WooCommerce, and then from there on, try to use as much as possible to have everything that we need. So as already mentioned, we had to put product maximums and we had to take away everything else that does not belong there. So obviously, because it's we're working with specific organizations, they don't have to pay for anything. So remove pricing, they don't have to do reviews because again, we don't need that. Next slide, please. So this is kind of what we ended up with, where you can see here, we have the plastic cards where you get a little description at the end here. But you can also choose which option you want for plastic cards. I believe they have 2 options. Here you can see for the t-shirt, they have size small all the way to extra, extra large.
Next slide, please. So then disaster struck. So among our lovely team, we had just one person who was familiar with WordPress. So of course, yeah, we had some boo-boos. And we actually crashed the staging site, which was not ideal. Next slide, please. So why was this such a big blocker for us? We were not able to edit the code again. We couldn't actually edit any page on the WordPress admin portal for the staging site. We didn't have FTP access to the file structure of the website. And we didn't have a phone contact for their technical people. And our contact within the nonprofit, Chris, did also not have hosting or FTP credentials. Next slide, please. So the next steps, on Monday, when the working week resumes, the technical people will be able to remove the problem code, and we're gonna recover things and support GMSH post-hackathon to deliver the e-commerce site for them. And also we had a chat with Jacqueline about accessibility, so we can update the design to be more accessible. Next slide, please. So as for what can be done in terms of accessibility, we were in the process of adding alt text to all the products in the e-commerce store. But some more things that we could do is ensuring that the font is simple. So a sans serif font, add some contrasting background and borders to the product tiles within the store. Ensure all text boxes have placeholder text. Ensure area labels are present, and there's a browser plugin that she mentioned to validate the area labels, as well as adding helpful colors within drop downs to make it more visually easy to, and also test tabbing throughout the checkout flow, so tab navigation. Next slide, please. So despite our hiccups, we had an amazing time. Team, it's been so amazing to work with you and meet all of you. And big thanks to everyone who put this special event together.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to move right along. We have 2 more projects to show. Next up, we have 75 shots. Come on up. I got to sit in on this project for just a little bit, and it was really exciting to see the collaboration and work that was happening.
So hi everyone, I'm Seb. I use she and they pronouns. So I'm very thankful to PrideHacks and everyone on my team, and especially I think Karine, my nonprofit partner, is on the line as well. So we had a great weekend yesterday and today working on this. So I will now pass the floor to my teammates to introduce themselves and what we have done for this weekend. Yeah. So I'm Shannon. Don't think I introduced myself before. It's fine. So the what we were working with was a Wix site that was sort of already up and running. There was a couple of different things that needed to be added in terms of functionality, a couple of things that they wanted changed. The interesting thing with Wix is only one person can work on it at a time, which made moving forward with everything a little bit tricky. So essentially, while one person was editing, other people were either doing research for the thing they wanted to implement, or they were we created like our own personal Wix sites so that we could kind of fiddle around with stuff. And then Wix has this amazing, you could just copy paste from like between sites, except it didn't work for me. So I had to do the same thing twice, like manually. It was a good time. But it worked out pretty okay. The main thing that I ended up working on was the form, which sounds like a simple enough thing to be able to do, especially because it's a thing built into Wix. You just like, I would like to add a form, please. And then you just add the fields. The problem though, is that the functionality that they need required sort of, you had to pay for it because it's a video site. And they need to be able to have someone upload a file that's about like 1 to 8 gigs. And there are no free services that will let you do that. So the next step was finding basically the cheapest version of the thing. They basically wanted to migrate their sort of submission, their file submission thing from Google Form to Wix, just to be able to kind of have everything in one spot on the dashboard rather than kind of navigating between different platforms and different services. So they still have to purchase the updated version. So in the meantime, what I did was I created a separate page for as many form fields as the free version would allow. So there's like sort of submission form page 1 with a bunch of fields, page 2 with a bunch of fields. Once they've purchased that upgraded version, they can just copy paste it into one long thing and it'll work just fine. But this was sort of a good solution in the meantime to at least get the thing going, have the formatting all together, changing the colors and the fonts and everything to match their site. So they're going to be ready to go to do that. That's either something we could do for them, or it's easy enough that they can just copy paste it over and it'll be good. And everyone ran away.
Hello, my name is MK Merrick. Next slide, please. So this is kind of like the stuff that we kind of like plan to do. Our UX UI person designed this for us, and we started to build the website based on that. Since Cinema Feast is a growing web app, we had to kind of like figure out ways to be able to help with the amount of submissions coming through. So basically in the slide before, it was kind of like an overview of how it looks like now. And we just like worked on user interface and it being easy to navigate through. And we kind of had different categories for films. And then for feature references, we added bunch of different categories where, similar to other streaming apps, you could have each category a full page, so you could browse all the movies on there. And we also added a live stream option, which we're still working on it. It's for options to be able to live stream their streams. So basically they go through a bunch of different places and they'll take like a tiny projector and will project films. And this is the form that we worked on. It was a pretty interesting thing to figure out, but we were able to figure out something really nice and neat. And the other options that we added was the querying map. So the first map basically shows all the countries that it is illegal to be us and to love who you want to be and how you want to be. And then the key facts kind of like goes over all the countries that it's illegal to be gay in. And the querying map was similar to that, where we wanted to implement where who are the people who are into like looking at our films and streaming options. And you can scan me. So basically the project that we were working on was for under the radar pop-up queer film streams, where it's people who make movies and aren't able to kind of like release the films under their own names. So basically they'll use this platform to be able to share their art and raise voices. And here's our awesome team, both 2 different days, and our amazing non-for-profit partner. So I'm gonna pass the mic to our project manager.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Karine. Yeah, she's here. So yeah, thank you.
Mwah. You guys are fantastic.
Awesome. Can someone hit to the next slide? And that brings us to our presentation for the last group, Indigenous Friends Association podcast app. So come on up.
Oh, okay. Where is the presentation though? Oh, so in that case, you need to be. What's we have? It's on your phone. We should probably get something on the monitors. Oh, it's up. Okay. Okay. Take it away. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ermias. My pronoun is he, him. I'm the project lead for the Indigenous Knowledge Keepers app called Indigicast. So the Indigicast mission is to preserve and document Indigenous knowledge and wisdom. So we try to develop an application like a podcast, a video app and audio app. So for the next slide.
So when we first started this project, there were a lot of things that we need to realize and discover and see, okay, can we actually implement it in the way we want? So the first thing we did is we sat down and we started to brainstorm. How exactly do we go about planning, design, implementation, and deploying our application? Next slide, please. So of course, we got out the whiteboard, as one does. And we thought, okay, what are the bare minimum requirements we need to make something that achieves our overall mission? So, next slide. And this was kind of our process. So it was like, okay, what's the bare minimum? What are the features? We need to allow people to filter video and podcast. The podcast should be of a certain length if possible, same with video. We should have a nice, accessible landing page, something inviting, something calming, and something that proves our mission. As well, we should provide transcription to make it more accessible to those who might have certain visual handicaps or need screen readers. Slide. So here's some of our concept art for early on. So we did all of this in Figma. We had very talented people on our team who helped us coordinate and plan out something that we could be proud of. So it starts out with a nice login page, an easy to navigate podcast and video feed. Over here, we have our main page. So this is where you could see video, where you could listen to audio, as well as see your transcription. And this here is transcription exclusively. So now I'm going to give it to Willow.
Hey folks, I'm Willow, she or they pronouns. What's up? Okay, right. So we had basically our team was a bunch of developers, mostly front-end developers, a bit of full stacky stuff. And then we also had Jacob, who should really be up here, but isn't, and that's fine. I'm not saying you have to come up, but who is the senior dev at Indigenous Friends Association. So he was sort of, really the goal is like, let's make something that they can maintain, right? We don't want to, like, you know, I have certain technology that I'm comfortable with. Other people have other technology. It doesn't matter. Whatever like they're most comfortable with is the most important thing. So we landed on this tech stack right here. So basically our front end is Ionic and React. The goal is for it to be like a mobile application. So Ionic, I guess, like spits that out from a React app. So we were able to all develop just like using our browsers, but that's going to spit out a, you know, something that can be deployed to the app stores. And then this parser application, this parser framework, which I had never heard of, is sort of like a backend for that. I think it's running on this back. Honestly, I don't know very much about the back end, how it works. For me, as like one of the people who's building the front end stuff, we just got to say like, Jacob, you're going to like just supply all the endpoints, right? And he's like, yeah, we're like, okay, great. I guess next slide. I'm not even sure what are on these slides, but I can. Okay. Did you want to take the next? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, this slide is, so this is the application we come up with. So that is like the link if anyone wants to check the application. So the application has like 2 pages. So the first one is just the uploaded video. So, but the second one, you just have like video, audio, and teaching. So what we accomplished so far is we developed a simple user interface with Figma, and we created a basic interface in React, and we set up a database with backend. It's in Parse, and it's hosted on Back4 app. Next slide, please. So the next steps are refining the user interface, content creation, develop the web version of the app, and deployment of the app to the app stores. Next slide, please. So this is us. We are working. So I have to make like thank you for everyone. Jamie, sorry for the pronunciation first. Jamie Guerrero, Jean Jiang, Mandip Raj, Willow Powell, Brian Glass, Cassandra Peters, it's me, and Jacob Schumann. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. So big round of applause for all of that amazing work that everybody did today. It was great. It was great to see that. Great to see everybody come back from last night and be here today. Give us your time. Again, it makes me feel so special to be a part of it. It makes me so proud to be running Queer Tech and having everybody as part of the community. So thank you again. I can't stress that enough. To everybody at home, I want to say thank you and goodbye. We're going to go ahead and end the broadcast. We appreciate you tuning in. And for everyone here, there's a few quick announcements.